Hello Taurus, and welcome to your reading space, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Hope you guys are doing well and in high spirits overall. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to only take what resonates. If something is negative or confusing, you always have the power to cancel, clear, reject, or not take that information on. This is a general reading, okay? So watch for that. This is timeless. Anytime you come across it and it resonates, it's for you. Anytime you want to listen back, it's for you. If you want to get a personal reading, please email us. That is the only way to set up a personal reading with us. We will never reach out to you to offer you a personal reading. So always watch out for scammers, okay? All of our information is in the information box below. FrequencyOfTheHeart@gmail.com, okay? All right. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, who or what are you dealing with currently? Please and thank you. Who or what is Taurus currently dealing with? Okay, you could be dealing with a lack of communication here, old perspectives that are getting in the way. You could not be getting the truth about a situation. It feels like maybe no progress, no motion, no movement. Maybe things feel stuck, stagnant, like nothing's moving, okay? And we're like, when are we going to get this truth? Or when are we going to have this new perspective? Or when are we going to have this conversation? When am I going to say this? You know, something like this. When is this person going to communicate? Okay, it could be something like just waiting on some kind of new perspective or communication or truth here. Who or what else is Taurus dealing with? Please and thank you. Could be dealing with an offer of love here. An emotional offer, but it could feel a bit unstable. It could be from a water energy, or you could question, is this reliable? Is this stable? Okay, some of you could be dealing with that kind of watery or even romantic energy. I get a little bit of a French vibe there, or maybe just like European, medieval times. Taurus, you could be dealing with some loss, emotional loss, grief, sadness, depression, feeling down and out, or emotionally limited. For some of you, it's more like you just feel maybe you're not as open to these offers or something because you feel very emotionally limited. This could be because of what's happened, okay, in the past. You could be really focused in a way on that, something like this, okay? I do feel like whatever this offer is, I don't know if it's meant to be long-lasting, but I do know it may help you to move forwards and out of something, to re-inspire something. It could also be that this offer is kind of, it's kind of moving out and on, okay? It's not really sticking around. Anything or one else that you're dealing with, Taurus? Please and thank you. I hear the word delay. So you could be dealing with a delay in things. There is some kind of motion or movement here when it comes to your material world or your physical world, okay? So this could be that your finances are balancing out, for example. It could be that you're making some kind of a physical move or movement. Yeah, and it's bringing more balance into your world here. With the Six of Swords in reverse, there could be a delay about like a vacation or a trip, or you could be deciding you don't want to escape here with love, or mentally check out and escape with someone, or just in general that you're deciding, I don't want to avoid, escape, run away. For some of you, it's a delay with a trip, or a trip isn't happening. You could be instead investing that energy into your own personal movement and balance here. Who or what else is Taurus dealing with? Could be dealing in the past energy with a King of Pentacles and fellow Earth energy, or father, boss, overruler, somebody older than you here. Somebody who's pretty well stationed. You could have set a burden down around this person, or you could have an unfinished project connected to this energy. I feel like this person, they either support or judge your choices. It's like one or the other, more extreme. Can you clarify the King of Pentacles for who they're dealing with? Please and thank you. For who Taurus is dealing with. This is somebody or a situation that you haven't been able to totally emotionally disconnect from or walk away from. Okay? Could be something to do with your job as well. Could be dealing with a lack of fresh perspective, fresh innovative ideas, offers, energies, emotions, love here. Younger water sign, feminine, could have left life as well, or you could be not in contact right now. Could be a friend, okay? Doesn't have to be female, just feminine. Who or what else is Taurus dealing with? Please and thank you. I feel like you're waiting on the wheel to turn here, but it's not. You're waiting on things to move forwards on an energetic level, but they're not. Waiting for your reserves to come in, for your what you have been working on building to come in, your dharma even. But it's not yet. It will, but it's not yet. Knight of Wands in reverse. You could be organizing, or you could be disconnecting. I hear reconnecting with, okay? But you could be disconnecting from a fire energy here as well. A lot of disconnecting, distance, gaps, or pulling away in a sense, okay? You could be getting emotional clarity here and reducing your options, especially the options that feel blurry. What else for Taurus, please and thank you? What else for Taurus, please and thank you? Okay, let's look at your current challenge, Taurus. In all of this, I feel like a lot of it is kind of challenging. What is the current overall challenge for the Taurus watching? Please and thank you. What is the overall current challenge for the Taurus watching? Please and thank you. Okay, this could be controlling your reality. Could be dealing with a manipulative or a twisted up, distorted energy as well, trickster type energy, or the relief of an energy like this you're still attached to. But I feel more so could just be, you know, I feel like I don't have a lot of control over my world, and this is kind of a scary feeling. Or maybe, you know, you don't feel like you really know how to manifest or are able to manifest what you want. What else is your challenge here? Could be also, for some of you, there could be just a challenge with releasing your manifestations so that they can come to fruition. Some of you could have trouble reflecting, meditating, being still, or forgiving self and others. And there could be a challenge releasing what we're holding tightly to, what we're clinging. Again, that could be manifestations, that could be a person, that could be money, it could be a concept or an idea. One of these things needs to go upright for this challenge to ease. So either we need to relinquish the control here, we need to release the tight grip that we've got onto something, the stuckness, or first and foremost, we need to sit in some kind of reflection or meditation or give ourselves more rest here. That's kind of targeted or intended towards some kind of forgiveness, okay? What else is the challenge here for Taurus watching? A lack of clarity, a lack of happiness. How do I get clarity? How do I find happiness, freedom, renewal? Okay. The sun could literally be a challenge for some of you. Too much sun or not enough. Could have been dealing with somebody very extreme one side and then extreme the other, you know. I keep getting that energy in your reading, like very far over here to very far over here, but not really a lot of in between. Not a lot of balance, not a lot of gray area. Okay, let's get some advice for you to move through these challenges besides to, well, yeah, let's just get some advice before we talk about that. Some advice for Taurus, please and thank you. For the Taurus watching. 10 of Wands, this is about setting down the burden, setting down the hard work. This could also be admitting that you aren't able to finish something right now and you have to just let go of that reality, which can be really hard. This is about emotional loss and sadness in the past around a relationship or a partner perhaps, and how everything is being viewed through that lens right now, but how there's something that needs to be left in the past in a sense. It doesn't mean we don't learn from it or carry the wisdom from it, but it does mean that we need to like validate what we've experienced first and foremost, so that we can move into a state of at least self-forgiveness, you know, to let that resentment go. This could be the burden you've been carrying, so that we can realize that the present is not the past and we are not doomed to forever be in the pain of the emotional loss of the past. Anything else here for the Taurus watching? Advice to move through challenges. Please and thank you. It's also you got to feel what you got to feel. If you've been on the other side of the spectrum and you've been suppressing your emotions or not feeling that at all and trying to ignore that, well, that in itself is a burden. That is a weight, and that will create a lot of resistance. You have every right to feel what you feel, Taurus. You have every right to that. There is no wrong way to feel. There's no wrong thing to feel. There's no not good enough reason for what you feel. Your feelings are not something to be ashamed of, okay? The advice is already kind of what's happening in your energy, but moving away from this younger fire energy or this kind of messy fire sign is part of your advice right now. Not going and charging towards the past with this person towards this person or them towards you. This is also to get organized a bit, okay? For some of you as well, you could be being advised. I feel like you need to do some healing here before you really deeply connect to someone. You could be being advised to not really focus on connecting to this water energy as well here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Clarify this as advice. Clarify this King of Cups as advice. This could also be you putting too much pressure on yourself to be perfect emotionally or mature emotionally, but maybe you need to go through a phase of just feeling totally angry or sad or frustrated instead of putting all that pressure on yourself. Clarify this King of Cups as advice. Yeah, no, I feel like this is more on the line of releasing, letting go, slowly but surely, of how tightly we are gripping onto something of the past here, and kind of being with ourselves in the in-between, okay? Anything else for advice for Taurus to move through these challenges, please and thank you. Do this at your own pace, at your own rate. Support yourself. Support yourself, Taurus. Support yourself as well, moving into that new energy. Yeah, something needs to be laid to rest here, and it is connected to this depressive or very down and out kind of energy. Laying it to rest is really reality check, you know, like I am here, I am now, this is what happened, this sucked, it was not okay, and yet this is where I am now, and now that doesn't mean I'm doomed to every experience to be just the same or to always have to experience constant loss. Like, we got to be careful about the perspective there and try to reignite some form of hope and life into us, okay? So maybe you need to get around the right people or something. Actually, what do you need to do to reignite hope here? Get enough rest for sure. And stop trying to force yourself to detach or move on from something like you don't care, because it's what we do when we're hurt. You'll move on in your own time. Admitting you still love somebody or still care about something, or that you still are holding it, is a first step to actually releasing it. And we don't admit it with the goal of release. We admit it with the goal of acknowledgement. So I acknowledge that I still care about this, that this still affects me, that this still hurts me, that this is still you know, happening for me, that I feel stupid because I still care so much about this person or whatever, this situation, this thing. I care what they think maybe, or I care how it feels, like I care, you know. Admitting that in itself helps a lot, okay? And you may need to admit that periodically over the next few weeks and just admit that this is hard for me right now. Sometimes we need to acknowledge ourselves like we would a friend and just be like, I realize that this is hard for me right now. Or for you, if you want to, you know, talk to yourself that way and say like, I know this is hard for you. I get an I name, Ian or Ied or something. Any other advice here for the Taurus watching, please and thank you. Okay. Oh. I feel like this is talking about your own timing. You are on your own timing right now, okay? And you should let yourself take the time you need to take. Just totally be your biggest support wherever possible right now. You don't need to take action towards anything before you're ready. You don't need to make that movement towards anything before you're ready. You don't need to feel, you know, all great and empowered and on fire and excited and ready. Now you can feel like shit, okay? It's better to feel like shit than to pretend and try to force yourself to feel. I know you want to feel this. For those of you who are resonating, I know you want to feel alive again in certain ways, okay? Maybe you want to be victorious or successful, or you want business to go great, or you want to feel independent and great again, you know? But sometimes we prolong the process by resisting the season, you know, by resisting the moment. Just like when you're sick and you like, I want to feel better so bad that you make yourself even more sick or sick longer because you just never fully let yourself be where you are. By letting this go for a minute, you're not losing it. If anything, you're nourishing it. So don't worry that if you let yourself fully succumb to feeling like shit and acknowledge that, or whatever you're feeling here, that you're going to lose, you know, everything else. That's not the case. All right. So let's look at the most likely potential outcome to this situation, okay? To this energy that you're currently dealing with. For the Taurus watching, please and thank you. What is the most likely potential outcome to their situation? What is the most likely potential outcome to their situation, please? There will be some conflict. Externally, internally, there will be some. That's okay. You don't need to be afraid of conflict. What is the most likely potential outcome here? I mean, for the most part, we don't need to be afraid of conflict. So most likely, you will end up coming out of your shell and connecting with helpful friends and people, maybe even new friends. Okay? What else is the most likely potential outcome for Taurus watching? Interesting. It's a process, Taurus. It's a process, okay? There's a lot of unwritten. I hear that, I always get this, like the Natasha Bedingfield, I think, song. The rest is still unwritten. There is some stuff that's still being written, okay? And I feel like you have a choice. You have a choice to be honest with yourself or to pretend. And whatever you choose, it'll be the right choice for you. It'll bring you to the lessons and the pathways that you need to be on for your soul growth and your journey. However, it could be cool, Taurus, if, you know, you were honest with yourself. It doesn't make you weak. If anything, it's really strong to actually admit when we're really having a hard time. Anything else for the potential outcome? For some of you, you could be, you know, the outcome of this is you don't really let go. Or you could be purging, again, a younger air sign from your life, or communication or gameplay. Perhaps you could be purging with someone, perhaps an air sign. Again, I feel you will not take the travel. You will not take the new adventure here. You may not go forwards with the younger fire energy, or a younger energy here. A lot of younger energies in this reading. They're not vastly younger, like pages, but there's a younger energy to them. Anything else? Most likely outcome for the Taurus watching to this situation. I think you're passing up and leaving behind a lot of different people and offers, okay? I think you are trying to go on a journey of exploring what boundaries you want to build, what ones you want to tear down. How can you rebuild trust? How can you rebuild your mind, perhaps after psychological abuse or troubles? Anything else here? Most likely outcome for Taurus. You are going to get that movement, and you are going to reestablish, reconfigure some balance here, okay? You could make a move. That is possible. And I think you have a choice to make a move towards your happiness, or to make a move more to the underground here. Either way, you will align where you need to. I do feel like your happiness is going to come out on top ultimately. All right. Taurus, that's what we have for you. I'm going to leave you right there. So I send you guys lots of love. Again, just email us if you want a personal to go more in depth. But until then, take care of yourself and be well.